So with 2017 coming to a close, I want to cover the best games of 2017. Not the worst games, not the games, the best games in my opinion. What's up guys, Megasonic here with another video. This is the last video for the year of 2017. And it's been a long year. You guys really improved this channel a lot and I've taken some feedback that you guys don't give. Anyway, let's get down with this list. And full disclaimer, this is my own list. So if I didn't have a game up there that you didn't like or you liked, it's because of the fact that either A, I didn't play it, B, didn't review it, or C, it wasn't good. Like Nier Automata. Anyway, let's get on with the list. Starting off on this list, we have to talk about Resident Evil 7, the game that literally brought back the horror series. Literally, this series was nothing but action films, and as you can see, the fans were not enjoying it with the 6th entry. So Capcom decided, let's give it an overall, or just still PT, because hell, why not? For what this game is, this game gave a lot of new things for the horror genre. First of all, it really popularized the horror first-person type thingy that Outlast did first, but we're not going to talk about that because Resident Evil 7 has the potential list because of the fact it built suspense. It made you afraid. The environment was cramping, dark, and creepy, and it felt like an actual survival horror game, which the original Resident Evil was in the beginning. So seeing the game kind of go back to its roots as well as innovate on an already well-known system is the best thing I have to say for 2017, and it really started the year off on a high note when it came to video games. With the number 9 spot has to go to Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 3 New Frontier. If you're a fan of this channel or have been here a long time, you know I post the gameplay up there, and I can say I was enjoying this game to the fullest. As a new story with new characters and new developments in the whole overall plot of Clementine, it really showed that Telltale can still make an interesting game and compelling characters without having to be a bunch of quick time events. Now, getting in more into it, the game really did a lot of things for the series, opened new doors, developed characters, added new characters, and I enjoyed them a lot. I was surprised because I usually end up, when they add new characters, I end up hating them because, well, they're meant to die at the end of the game, so you don't feel like you need to get close with them. Javier and his family, I felt close to them. They felt like real people. They felt like interesting characters, even down to his fucking piece of shit brother. But other than that, the whole overall game, it was an innovation of the series. Walking Dead really made Telltale what the game company it is today. It was popular back in the day, but it's really big now due to this game, and I can see that they're still taking absolute care with it. Clementine is still an interesting character, and they still have a lot of things with the system innovated. If you have never played the Telltale games, what is wrong with you? These things are a godsend, and that's why Walking Dead New Frontier is on this list.
Happen to Mariana to yourself. Badger is one of my guys, and I will handle him.
Dillian? Is that you?
Taking the number 8 spot has to be Hellblade. Now, a lot of people felt like this game didn't really matter or was slept on because it wasn't a big title. It was made by Ninja Theory, who also made the Devil May Cry reboot that no one actually liked. But this game deserves a lot of clout for what it represents. This game is known for its puzzles, its action, and its story as well as its themes. This game covers one thing and one thing only, and that is schizophrenia and mental illness. This is a surprising take on this game because when other games take it, it's usually done in a more of a secondary or half-assed thing. It's not the main focus of the plot. With the main focus of the plot, the character constantly goes through schizophrenic episodes that will make you really think about people who actually suffer from this. The game deserves all the recognition that it gets for this sort of innovation in storytelling. I really think you guys should pick up this game, especially when you want to look at the idea or how someone sees the world through this mental illness. As well as gameplay, the gameplay reminds me so much of smaller indie title games that really focus on adventure and story rather than trying to have a big action piece. I do enjoy the fact that the world is very changing and different, which is really good, but I should definitely say the reason why I guess the number 8 spot is because it really needs to be checked out, guys.
This is great. Anyone want a hug? No hugs.
Taking the number 7 spot has to be Destiny 2. Now, I know some of you guys are probably asking, why is this game on this list? But I don't want to hear it this time. Destiny 2 did a lot of things right, and I can tell because, surprisingly, the whole gaming community seems to be quite fond of the game since every streamer is streaming it literally daily. For one part, Destiny 2 does a lot of things right. It overhauled the combat to a much more easy and understandable way. It gave new supers, more content, a new storyline that actually makes sense, as well as more characters. I felt like this was initially what Destiny 1 was supposed to be like. However, what this game is worth, we're getting a lot more than we bargained with. We actually got surprised by how good this game was and how much fans received, as well as a lot of fans actually thought this game was at least meh.
Give them war.
Injustice 2 is when you get is if you're trying to make a superhero game but also a fighting game, but a fighting game first. And I can say this, Injustice 2 is probably the best fighting game of the year. Yeah, I said it. Sorry Marvel vs. Capcom, and sorry Tekken 7, but this game does everything right. Right down to the characters, each character feels innovative and new. They feel like you're playing with a different person instead of a clone. The same thing about as well as with the customization. The customization in this game is deep with new armors, new abilities, and as well as the online capability is something to be world renowned. This game became something big when it came out, like really big. Like it was pushed to be a esports or a fighting tournament game. And I have to say this, and I have to say this truthfully and most dubitably to all game developers. If you want to make a game that is, I don't know, competitive, you make it fun first. You don't make it competitive next. You hear that? You make it fun first, not competitive. Thank you. Now anyway, getting back to this game does a lot of things right. You play as Superman, you can flip people, bash their heads in, or you can play as Batman and use gadgets. This game makes each character feel innovative and new. Hell, I thought Supergirl was going to be a Superman clone, but actually not. She's more flashy and floaty, rather he be more glue and brute. Now this is an enjoyable game, and I'm glad this is on number 6 spot because I have to really think about it. What spot would I put this game? And I have to put it's in this spot. It has to deserve. It's a great fighting game, and it deserves all the props it gets.
It makes you stronger.
Turn back! Corrupted machines in the valley!
Okay, so Horizon Zero Dawn is actually one of those games that I'm actually tired of seeing. It's a good game, but I'm tired of seeing it, Sony. Sony, look at me. Sony, look at me. Look at me, Sony. I do not want to see this game at another event. It's been a year or two now, and I've seen this game over several times this year. We get it, you have new DLC, but please, God, forsake, stop showing this game. You have new IPs. You do not need to put this game at every game event that you show because, hey, everyone has already played it and everyone has already given their thoughts. No DLC is going to change it. And I have to say, this is a good open world game. For what it's given, it's a nice, beautiful game with a beautiful art style and as well as an interesting concept and idea. Aloy is a nice character who is developed pretty neatly and well. Aloy as a character really does her job right with being the female protagonist of a new generation. Now, I do believe that the game has its problems, but this game's problems are so minuscule to the scale of this game. Each animal, right down to the size and width, is what makes this game more interesting and makes the world feel a lot bigger. Exploring, learning new attacks and abilities really helps out this game as in terms of being on this list. As the best game on this list, I have to say it has done a lot for its content. I feel like Sony has shoved this game down my mouth so many times, I can taste metal. But anyway, let's get on to the rest of this list.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of the Calamity Ganon, a primal...
Taking the number 4 spot has to be Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is probably, in my opinion, one of my favorite Zelda games in a long, long while. Sorry, Wind Waker, but this game stole my heart.
What's up with this chick?
What's up with who?
With you.
What you mean what's up with me?
What do you mean what's up with you? Why you coming up to him like...
Right down to the combat, survival, environment, right down to the expansion packs and everything that Nintendo has done to push this game, it really feels like this game actually matters to them. This game is the console seller. This game is literally what forced a lot of people to buy a Nintendo Switch. And it did feel like sometimes Nintendo was trying to force it down our throat, but damn sure this game was good. Right down to the characters, the environment, everything. And the expansion pack is supposed to add in more content. which this game did. You get motorcycles, more story, more lore, more characters. It just does a lot of things, right? And I'm glad we get to see this. And I'm glad this is the Zelda game that really pushes the Nintendo Switch, because the next game, I think, innovated a lot.
Here we go, off the rails, but you know it's time to raise our sails.
Taking the number 3 spot is another Nintendo game, and that has to be Mario Odyssey. Hey, it's been the last time since I played a good Mario game, and Mario games have always been decent or bad with me, but this one actually deserves a spot because Mario Odyssey is one of the best games, obviously, because it's on this list. Mario Odyssey does a lot of things right. Introduces us to a new character with a new world, introduces us to a fun storyline, and just goofiness altogether. The new hat power is something to really be wondering about, since you can literally possess dinosaurs and other things. Nintendo knew how to work this IP, and hell, they did a good job with it. I could say that literally this is the Mario game I probably had the most fun with, constantly changing and exploring the world. Now, as far as the number 2 spot goes, Cuphead takes this spot because of the fact that, well, the game looks completely not like any other game on this market. For one part, look at it. The animation is so nostalgic in 1940s that it makes it stand out like a sore thumb. I mean, look at the gameplay and everything. This is an indie game that's a platformer that doesn't suck. I'm looking at you, Crash Bandicoot. But with this gameplay, the storyline, and everything, and focuses around it, this game really stands out. And it's obviously, this is one of those projects that if it make it or break, it can destroy a whole indie company. The reason why it's on number 2 is because not only that it's style, but also its difficulty. It's challenging and it's fun. And I'm not talking about challenging as in the Dark Soul way where I have to throw my controller across the room. I mean challenging as in that it actually challenges you and challenges your skills as it talks through the game. I'm saying this is the reason why this game is so good, is because of the fact that, well, the developers actually try to make a game first that was actually fun instead of just making a challenging game for no reason. I'm looking at you, Dark Souls. Before we get to our number 1 spot, we have to talk about our honorable mentions.
Little mouth, what you say? I'll be careful, little mouth, what you say. There's a Father up above, and he's
So taking the number 1 spot for best game of the year, judging by my standards, is Persona 5. Persona was one of those series where I didn't really focus too much on, and now looking at this, I actually want to play the rest of the game. Persona 5 is probably one of the best RPGs and JRPGs of this year. Next to the storyline, the characters, the animation, the overall style, the red, oh my god, the red. This game carries a lot of style, right down to the music, the animation. This game deserves all the props. Fluid gameplay, good storylines, and actually, you know, it's worth your time. If you haven't played this game, I recommend it. Play it, because not only that it's a slice of life anime, but it's also an action RPG. So if you haven't played this game, what is wrong with you guys? Hey, I'm telling you, I'm giving you an ideas. by Persona 5. Persona 5 literally wins Game of the Year because of the fact that it's so well done. And yes, I know, because I can tell Persona fans have been waiting like, I don't know how many years since Persona 4. That's what I thought. So guys, that's the closing for this video. Oh my god, that was a long video. It took a lot of work, but thank you guys for everything you did. Even though we're not growing at a large rate as other channels, I still appreciate the fact that you guys are watching and, you know, sharing the videos and doing everything you can, because this is really helping. I can't say that we went from practically like 40 subscribers to 170, which is a large jump if you ask me. That's more than 4 times the amount that we were before. So all I have to say this is thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate for all the help, the work, and the support from all of you guys this year. 2018 will be a bigger year, and I will see you guys next year.